This is going to be part 2. There's an engine. I wonder what this thing is. It almost looks like part of an engine, like the crankshaft, and it's got a thing you can turn, but I'm not going to do that. An old wooden ship's wheel. An old diver's suit. Those things must have been heavy. Some old wooden barrels. Marine construction. Shaping the harbor for committee. I think that might have been something to do with the controls of the ship. It looks like they have some kind of dials and stuff on there. Okay. It's kind of cool. That's how they would build these ships. There's a really nice old wooden ship from the forest. There's some pulleys and some ropes and stuff. Some heavy-duty steel connections and pulleys, and this is what the shipbuilders use for tools: muscle, sweat, and skill. Look at those old drills they use probably for doweling and carpenter tools, and some old planes. The Clipper City. It's amazing how they evolved, you know, from sails to. There's a huge picture, painting, it looks like, of a schooner. It says Clipper City, built in Manitowoc. This here is a big. I can only go back so far. It's kind of like a. Looks like what they use for forms in order to make the ship round and stuff like that, because you see how they use the different sections of block and stuff like that to get the curvature of it. There's a bunch of really cool stuff from lanterns up on top to clevises to rope and lanterns and an old cash register and some lights, fancy lights there, and from ladles to clothes. It's like a hardware store type of thing. Midwest Fields, Feed the Nation. The Albert Landrolf Company. Molasses, Quaker oats, beans, and you know, it's really cool. You can actually go back in here. There's an old safe, huh? They didn't have banks at those times, so you had to, you know, have yourself a nice safe and a nice old dress. Wisconsin-built boat gallery. Let's check this out. Oh, cool. It says, "Do not touch." This is an old deluxe Marlin roundabout. That is sweet. Old boat. The Dunphy. This Emma here, I love that early that awning on the Emma. It's a wood boat and that, and brass fixtures and actual like a bell on there, ship's bell. And what's cool is the two chairs in the front there are wicker, but you know, we're talking a long time back. Excuse me. The Skybird, leader of Great Lakes Cruising Comfort. That's a big sail rig there. And this is the Mackinac boats. Beautiful. Ships, propellers, and boating safety. Yeah, look at the size of that propeller. But when you have a big boat, you have a big engine, you need a big propeller, because as it spins, it takes bites of the water and propels your craft forward. There's an old Mercury, 10 horsepower on this wood one. You can see how this is constructed with these little pieces of wood and with these curved strap. They actually put the wood in a boiler and boiled the wood and softened it, which allowed it to be built. This is called the Ellen. The Ellen see a launch from a different era. Come back on this. Look at this engine, it's so cool. It's got the brass on top of it. It says the Buffalo. Yeah, it's super cool. And this looks like an early speedboat. What does it say? Richardson Slipper Hydroplane. That is cool how long that is. W21. It's got that fancy outboard motor on there. It's all like polished stainless steel and aluminum. And those early outboards are really cool. There it is, folks, the Richardson. That's really cool. Okay, Richardson, Canadian Special, product of Sheboygan Falls. Sheboygan Falls company. Yeah, this is a great exhibit of these boats, and that huge one in the background there, that was like an early cabin cruiser. It's pretty awesome. Those boats in there are really cool. I didn't go out in that room, man. There's quite a bit here, folks. You get a chance, come and check it out. Yeah, here's an interesting one. Beginnings of change. Steam power replaces the steel. Oh, the Christopher Columbus. Style, grace, and elegance. That was a Sheboygan. The side wheel steamer Sheboygan was built in Manitowoc. Huh. They built that Christopher Columbus in 1893. Then they got metal ship constructions, pitching rivets, welding steel, front neck. Oh, this is one of a rivet heater. What they do with the rivets is they put them in there, they heat them up, and then they hammer them in place. The gantry, crane and pneumatic tools. They use the gantry it's like a crane type of setup. Floating giants of the Great Lakes. The birth of self-unloaders. This setup here is kind of like a conveyor that they use to self-unload the way it looks. Salvage archaeology of the Adriatic. You can see how these like little buckets, kind of like for hauling iron ore or coal or whatever. It's the size of a huge spur gear. And this is a self-unloading simulation. Okay. Edwin J. Schubert, Standard Oil Company of Indiana. Huh. They'll take a look at this beast. This is another Kallenberg model. Huge. It's a diesel engine before they put on boats eventually. And actually, a lot of the boats nowadays have diesel. Okay, we got to go through here. We got some more engines. Great Lakes Navigation. Binoculars. It's kind of interesting, this thing with the brass. And this is called the Struble engine. That's kind of interesting. The one-cylinder Kallenberg, that must be this one in front here, because this looks like a two-cylinder engine here. Dependable and durable Kallenberg engines. This thing is really a piece of engineering here. That's so cool. There's another Kallenberg there. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that engine. That is great, man. And that's what spins the propeller eventually, somewhere, maybe a drive shaft on the road. It's pretty cool engines, huh?
Yeah, they are amazing, aren't they?
The technology, you know, for the time. All right, folks, if you get a chance, come down here to Manitowoc and check out this Maritime Museum. It is bad to the bone. Thank you.